Hi, and welcome back to Sizzling Hot with SM. I am Sarah Michelle, and we are here today at the bar in my still being renovated kitchen. As you can see, my mom would not be happy with me showing you guys this background, but it is what it is. We took a hiatus a few weeks back because I didn't have a kitchen sink. I could not cook in my kitchen, but now we have a kitchen sink. We have a countertop. They're gonna finish the cabinets and everything, so hopefully by our next show, we should have a completely done kitchen. So without further ado, I want to introduce today's guest. I have Godwin Sang here today. Godwin, thank you so much for joining the show.
I am glad to be here. It's exciting to be a part of Sizzling Hot with Sarah Michelle. I've been looking forward to this and really excited about the topics we're going to discuss today.
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us. Funny story about Godwin. So when the NFL draft was happening, I was sitting on my couch just hanging out, and he texted me. He's like, "Sarah Michelle, we have a draft party going on." And I was like, bet, let me join y'all. And so I was there for 40 minutes just listening to this guy like go off. Amazing. And I was like, Godwin, you have to be on the next show. And he's like, okay, but only if we talk about the NFL. So today's show is going to be super special because we are just discussing the NFL. We're going to talk about the draft, schedules, picks, teams that we think are going to actually succeed this season, teams that, maybe not so much. So I'm really excited. And what dish did we make today, Godwin?
Well, we made one of my favorite simple dishes, and that's chicken teriyaki on white jasmine rice. And I guess this is when we get to show it off, right?
Let's do our grand reveal.
All right, you go first.
Yes. So if you guys don't follow me on TikTok or Instagram, you will not know that I actually made my sauce from scratch. And it's served with broccolini with some green onions. It's delicious. Everyone in the house is like super happy about it. They are asking for more. But I don't know. Let's look at Godwin's. Let's see if he's got me beat on presentation. I suck at presentation sometimes.
Well, I'm trying to keep up. So this is what I made right here.
That's gorgeous.
You guys see it? I hope you guys can see it clearly. I hope I don't dump it all on my keyboard.
No,
But
please don't do that.
fine.
No mishaps today.
Yes,
No
everything's perfect. But yeah, that was the chicken teriyaki right there. And mine was a little bit different because I like to keep mine on the pan just a little bit longer. I like it a little bit darker. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I feel like the sauces really come alive when you leave it on the saucepan for just a little bit longer. So it came out with that wonderful golden brown look that I personally enjoy. And that's just a little bit about my chicken teriyaki.
I love it. I love it. Mine, I marinated it in ginger, ground garlic, some soy sauce, and honey. And so I marinated it overnight, and it is just
Wow.
so tender and juicy. And in that sauce, it is just,
Hey, I
I
hope
don't
you
mean to toot my own
don't.
horn, but
Hey, I hope you don't get lost in the sauce because this dish is one of my favorites. It's kind of like how do you put it? Comfort food.
yes.
Yes, it's definitely a comfort food.
It's a good comfort food. So thank you so much for picking the plate. I had a lot of fun making this dish. And without further ado, let's begin. Let's tackle today's topics. We're gonna start with the draft. Okay, Godwin. So I already know how you're gonna feel about these things, but what were the three most surprising pickups this past draft?
Okay, now I have a lot of surprising pickups. Now I want you to answer this for me. Would you want to dive into first the good, the bad, the ugly? Which side of it do you want to get? Because
I
there are
want you.
bad
Okay.
surprising, good surprising, surprising like what are you guys doing over there? Surprising like, okay, I think you guys really got to figure it out, you know? So tell me.
Okay, so let's do one good pick, one bad pick, and one really nasty pick that, oh my gosh, what was this team doing?
Exactly. Okay, perfect. I will go ahead and get it started. Now, the thing is this, I'm trying not to be basic, but I will go according to what I personally believe was the best pick of the whole draft, and that is the Justin Fields pick. Yes, that's right.
That's
The
my favorite
Chicago Bears
pick.
did it. They did it.
They did it.
You know what? As a rival in the NFC North, if you guys don't know, I am a Minnesota Vikings fan. Now, I will try my best to not be a homer in this whole program, but I will try to my best to be very fair. But I want to go ahead and say that the Chicago Bears really redeemed themselves incredibly by choosing Justin Fields. I think personally he was the most underrated quarterback in this draft class. Personally, I am surprised the Broncos didn't go with Justin Fields at pick, I believe, number 9, right? And let me tell you something. This guy, I think he has the opportunity to change the outlook of this franchise, which probably has never had a good quarterback since Jay Cutler, which is surprising, right? And mind you, this is a team that went to the Super Bowl at one point with Rex Grossman.
Yes.
Let that sink in for a second. You know what I'm saying? So having Justin Fields can be a game changer. Matt Nagy coming from the coaching tree of Andy Reid, he can really do some real things on the offensive side of the ball with Justin Fields. And so this pick personally to me was the best place I think Justin Fields could have landed outside of the Broncos. Honestly, I am actually intrigued. And as a Vikings fan, shame on me for saying this out loud. Guy, I really am. Because I personally feel like he should have never fell this low in the draft class.
I definitely agree. I think I was extremely surprised he got drafted in the mid-teens. That's kind of embarrassing. Like, what an amazing quarterback. The Broncos, in my opinion, Broncos really lost out on a really good pick. But I think that the Bears, considering changing management and everything that Mitch Trubisky has done this entire season, I think that they're making an excellent choice by picking up Justin Fields.
Absolutely. I believe one thing about the NFL. When you make bad picks as a GM, it's very wise to clean up quickly, because if you don't clean up quickly, it will cost you your job.
Exactly.
I personally feel like the GM pace down there definitely changed it all up, and he decided to gamble again on another quarterback, trading up, giving up another first round pick for Justin Fields. Personally, I want to say that Justin Fields should have never fell this low, like you said. And not only that, but I think he's an accomplished quarterback. He's confident. As a matter of fact, they said he has scored the all-time highest score in the mental aptitude test in the NFL. I mean, in all of history. Mind you that means he's able to recall plays. He's able to remember things in the huddle. He's an incredibly smart player.
Yeah.
And he never got a fair shake. So it is actually kind of impressive that he got this high. This low, personally. So I'm really excited about this pick, honestly. Even as a Vikings fan, I kind of want to see him win. And it's kind of crazy because all offseason, before the draft, they were talking about having Russell Wilson be their next quarterback.
Yes.
Right?
That's a whole other can of worms for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And not only that, they were willing to give up 3 first-round picks.
Yes. It was kind of embarrassing.
Picks.
Like, they were really trying to get him.
I mean, they were thirsty for Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because, lo and behold, they might have gotten themselves a mini Russell Wilson.
Probably better. He's going to carve his own path out.
I'm saying, with 2 first round picks. So I am actually really impressed with them, and I applaud them. Even though I really don't like the Bears, I personally think as a Vikings fan, they're the most difficult to always assess, because even though they may look weak, they always give us problems, especially when they're at home. So we're gonna be actually seeing them. One time Kirk Cousins is actually gonna be facing Justin Fields on Monday night during the season. So looking forward to seeing Justin Fields actually in primetime lights. So that's my good pick.
That's your good pick? I'm gonna let you take I'm gonna let you take a break so that you can eat some of your food, because I already took a bite. My food's delicious, but I want to see how your food tastes.
Right, let's take a
While
bite.
you think about your bad pick. And now, mind you, on this show, we try to be as positive as possible, but, there are some good picks, some bad picks, some bad choices that teams make. And so, how's your food?
Wonderful.
Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. That's
How
what I
about
would
this?
like to hear.
What pick do you think was the best pick?
It was Justin Fields. For me, from the beginning, it was Justin Fields. I think I really believed in him. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly. If we want to talk about the worst pick, I think, and I'll probably touch on this later, Rondale Moore. I think he was drafted too low.
I think so.
I think
Talk to
so.
me. Talk to me.
I think so. And I mean, we're going to talk about this later because I'm going to talk about the Cardinals. But I think that I know the Cardinals, you know, they have DeAndre Hopkins. You know, he's kind of like a freaking like powerhouse. But Rondale Moore is just super underrated, in my opinion. He knows how to run plays. He knows how to move. He's very fast. And I think that the Cardinals should give themselves... They should have, first of all, they should have drafted him earlier so he could get a better pay. And DeAndre Hopkins, I mean, can we be certain that he's going to stay healthy the entire season? No. Kyler Murray needs weapons. He needs like backups and backups and backups. I really hope that they start Rondale Moore this season. I want to see what he's capable of. I want him to show off on the field because even though Vegas says that the Cardinals are going to probably win like 8 games this season, I personally think that the Cardinals are going to go to the Super Bowl. Very bold of me to assume that for a team that doesn't have a quarterback that has shown out these past few seasons. But again, we will touch on this later. So now we're going to circle back to your bad draft pick. Who was the bad draft pick in your opinion?
Oh my goodness. Okay. You tempted me to talk about the Cardinals, but we won't because it's coming up later in the show.
It's coming up later.
Ooh, I'm going to have to keep all my...
Keep it together.
Yes. Get my Zen, USA, right? Bad picks. I had a couple. And personally, when it comes to bad picks, it's tough. I want to say that most of the time, and I want to kind of maybe put a disclaimer in the show, no one knows if a pick is good or bad until 3 years after the draft.
I agree.
Okay? You got to give these guys a chance to develop, give these guys a chance to go actually get some playtime out there and kind of feel themselves out. But I personally feel, according to what I saw situationally, the worst pick in the first round especially was Eric Stokes. Oh my goodness, by the Green Bay Packers. I mean, come on, man. That was probably one of the most disappointing picks because according to the rankings that are out there and many boards that many GMs had, Eric Stokes should have never cracked the first round pick in the NFL draft. Now, I do understand there was a run in the draft for many cornerbacks. There were a lot of great cornerbacks. Caleb Farley came off the board. Greg Newsome, the second, came off the board. Patrick Surtain, J.C. Horn, all these great guys who I feel would actually make an impact in their franchises. But I think it was just too much. And I think it was too much of a gamble, personally, to pick Eric Stokes. Now, I'm not saying Eric Stokes won't turn out to be a great cornerback, but I think for the value of the first-round pick, he was just not a first-round pick material. So Eric Stokes is probably, to me, the worst pick in the first round.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the last one. The ugliest pickup of them all.
Ooh. And let me surprise you, shall I?
Okay. I'm going to hold on to my seat. I'm holding on to my seat.
You can hold on to your seats because I'm going to have to probably explain this pick.
Okay.
I think the worst pick in the whole entire draft overall, not just the first round, was Kyle Trask.
Okay.
That's right. I said it.
Okay.
Kyle Trask was picked, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna probably look it up. But he was picked by the Buccaneers in the second round. by the world champs, the Buccaneers, Tom Brady. Um, Quarterback, Florida. I think this was the worst pick. And let me explain why. First and foremost, if you watch the tape, you'll notice Kyle Trask is incredibly underdeveloped. Okay. I mean, this guy had weapons on his team. Not only the probably the best was it Kyle Pitts, best tight end in this
In this
draft.
draft.
Yes, but he also had Kadarius Toney, which I believe he's the most underrated wide receiver picked in the first round, by the way, by your New York Giants. I think they got a real game changer. He's a game changer.
Yes.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. A lot
Thank
of
you.
guys.
It makes me
I,
really happy.
you know what? Look, you guys missed out on Devontae Smith.
Yes.
Okay. Obviously because the Cowboys and the Eagles decided to, switch it up on you guys. But
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, you guys probably picked one of the most underrated wide receivers in this draft class, Kadarius Toney. I mean, this guy is it. He's the it guy. Okay. Jalen Waddle.
Okay, Jalen Waddle.
Yes, the Dolphins picked him up with the number 6 pick in the NFL draft, and the reason why they picked him up is because everybody was comparing him up with Tyreek Hill, and I want to say personally that Jalen Waddle is fast. He is probably one of the better wide receivers in this draft. But personally, I feel that the playing style Kadarius Toney plays with best resembles Tyreek Hill. I mean, this guy, I personally feel he is a game changer. He makes cuts. He catches the ball in the middle of the field. He's not afraid of contact. He doesn't drop balls. I mean, this guy makes cuts like crazy. If you watch his tape, you'll notice that this guy is a total game changer. And if he's on any team, he's a quarterback's kind of like safety blanket. I mean,
Yeah.
you just throw it to Kadarius Toney, and he makes magic happen all the time. I mean, this guy can
Yeah.
make six defenders in front of him look like they're just probably one or two of them out there. Okay, I mean, this guy is tough. Not only that, but I actually watched some news on him, and he was in practice, and he was actually he wore the wrong size shoes, and so he almost got injured, and so he decided to practice with one
God.
shoe on, one shoe off. I mean, this guy's a dog. This is the kind of guy you want as a wide receiver. He's dedicated. He's fast. I mean, I personally feel he's so underrated. And
Yeah.
someday you will be hearing Kadarius Toney as one of the best receivers in the NFL. I'll put my name on it. Okay,
Okay.
put your bets on
These
it.
these shows are forever. The internet is forever. So people are gonna they're gonna go back to the
Yes.
show and be like, yeah, Sarah Michelle's guest. He said that Kadarius Toney.
Hey, we gotta be sizzling hot.
We gotta be sizzling hot. That's your
We
sizzling
gotta
hot
be
take.
sizzling hot, and that's my sizzling hot take. He is going to be the next Tyreek Hill. I'm gonna say
Okay.
it. He's good, man. This guy is. Whew. I mean, you just gotta watch his tape. He's the real deal. Now,
I haven't
Jalen
seen
Waddle,
any of his tape.
you gotta check him out.
Okay.
So hyped about him. This guy's a real deal, personally, to me. He makes good cuts. I mean, he catches the ball in the middle of the field. He's not afraid of contact. I mean, this guy can. I mean, if you match him up with safeties or linebackers or anything, it's game over. But yeah, anyways, but Kyle Trask, I personally believe was the worst pick because, number one, he had the best tight end in this whole entire draft. Not only did he have the best tight end, but I personally feel that, I mean, according to the professionals out there and the scouts out there, he had the best prospect probably in a very long time in Kyle Pitts. They call him the perfect player, not only the perfect player, but the perfect tight end. Okay, he had the perfect tight end. He had Kadarius Toney, who has, to me personally, Tyreek Hill type of game-breaking speed. Not only game-breaking speed, but cuts. I mean, this guy gets open. He's just the perfect wide receiver to have in the slot. And guess what? He wasn't able to do much with that. If you watch Kyle Pitts' tape, you'll notice that his footwork is off. As a quarterback, he's trash. Just keeping it real. He's just not that good. He's not worth a second round pick. And personally, I feel like that was kind of surprising, especially for a defending champion.
Yeah.
With Tom Brady, he's 45, turning 46.
There was a statistic that said that Tom Brady is older than the average age of the parents of the players that are in the NFL. He's
And
old.
that's why I'm telling you it did not make any kind of sense as a Bucks GM to pick a young quarterback, especially when you're reloading for another shot at winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Why would you pick a quarterback in the second round? They were
Especially after you signed Tom Brady for another 4 years. Like,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I personally feel that was the worst pick in the entire draft because number one, you're not actually thinking about your current future. And number two, you picked a player that is so developmental, you could have probably picked him up in the 6th round.
Yeah.
Kyle Trask is just not that good. And I hope that if he's listening to this, it's not personal, bro. I'm just watching the tape. You're just not worth a second round pick. No offense at all. You could be Tom Brady someday. But look, you're just not worth it.
That's what I was about to say. He could be Tom Brady someday, and you're out here just dragging him.
I personally feel like, look, the odds are out there. I personally feel he's either going to be a backup someday at best. And if he's not a backup, honestly, he is, I don't know, somewhere holding a clipboard. He was not worth the second round pick. Just keeping it real. I think he's the ugliest pick. Yeah.
Okay. The ugliest pick. All right. So really quickly, who do you think won the draft overall?
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. And I come back to the whole idea again. It's about 2-3 years down the line.
Yeah.
But I personally feel like the Chicago Bears won the draft.
They won? Okay.
They won the draft.
With Justin Fields. And who else did they draft?
One draft pick that I thought was really underrated. Now, I do have a couple. Let me put it this way. I think it would be fair if I pick more than one team here.
Okay.
So I have a better chance of looking good 3 years down the line.
Statistically, statistically speaking, right? If you pick more than one team, you might hit it on the nail or something like that, you know?
Yes. And that's what I want. I want statistically better chances of looking good at the end of the day, right? Yeah. I personally feel like I feel like the Bears really won the draft because they took another gamble. Obviously, yes. Mitch Trubisky we can honestly, and he was a disappointment, okay? Keeping it real, picks like Mitch Trubisky get people fired, okay? It's true. But I think they really redeemed themselves with Justin Fields. I think he's going to be an exceptional quarterback. Not only that, but I really, really, really like their 2nd round pick, and that's Kelvin Jenkins. Yes, he's an O-lineman. He is that position that's normally forgotten and boring, but I think this guy is incredibly sound. I mean, his technique as an O-lineman is incredibly sound. He looks harmless, but let me tell you what, he will neutralize your best edge rushers, and he will keep that boy, Justin Fields, safe and looking clean all game long. And let me tell you something. No quarterback can be great without a great O-line.
Exactly.
I'm sure there have been many Tom Bradys in the NFL who have lost the opportunity to be great because they just didn't have the protection. Okay?
Let's not even talk about what could have been. Just think about what's his name? Patrick Mahomes during the Super Bowl. That was so embarrassing.
497 yards he ran in that game. That is the
that was
most,
so embarrassing.
Not only historically, but just seasonally, like anyone has ever ran away from defenders as a quarterback. And let me tell you something. It doesn't matter how great you are. If you don't have an O-line,
you're going to be struggling out there. Doesn't matter. Exactly.
And let me tell you something. Ryan Pace was gunning. He is fighting for his job down there in Chicago. And I think he might have kept it, okay? And he got Kelvin Jenkins. And I want to say that he That was honestly, personally to me, he might be a sleeper pick. I know a lot of guys don't watch O linemen, but I think they're game changers. But yeah, I think the Chicago Bears definitely won the draft, and not only the Chicago Bears. Hopefully, you'll give me another chance to create more of a portfolio of success here. But I think the New York Giants, the New York Giants won the draft. Let me explain why.
Some people it was the Jets. I think both New York teams won the draft, in my opinion. But I'm gonna hand it off to you because my opinions don't matter because I'm very biased. Go ahead, Vikings fan. Go ahead, Vikings fan.
Hey, you gotta be sizzling hot, okay? Your opinions do matter.
Not today. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me put it this way: the Jets won the draft, and this is why. Number one, Zach Wilson, guys, is better than you think he is. I'm gonna go ahead and say this, and yeah, I might get some people looking at me funny. Zach Wilson has Patrick Mahomes potential. Sizzling hot.
Only hot takes here. Hot takes
Has
are bus.
Patrick Mahomes potential. I mean, this kid is special. His release is one of the fastest. Um, I think the only thing that probably can destroy him as a quarterback is his mentality and how good he's coached. How well, should I say, how well he's coached. Hopefully, he gets a great coach around him. But he has Patrick Mahomes potential. I mean, this guy can do it all. He's a go-go gadget of a quarterback. And honestly, I would have never shamed the Jaguars if they had decided
To take Zach Wilson first.
take Zach Wilson's first. According to the info that I'm seeing right now, Patrick Mahomes is 6'3". Let me tell you something. I know we hate to talk about this, but height matters when it comes to quarterback. Russell Wilson, I know he's out there. He's elite. Don't get me wrong. He's an
He's very
exception.
small.
He's very small, but he's an
Yes, he is.
exception. You know, Drew Brees is out there. He's an exception.
Very
I'm
small.
not saying you can't make it as a quarterback as a short guy, but I want to say that you need a big guy at the quarterback position. And let me tell you what, Zach Wilson is a big kid. He's 6'3". As a matter of fact, I was reading an article, and Fred Warner, um, linebacker from the 49ers, now he's a Jet. And he was actually sent by his coach. I forgot the Jets' new coach. He was the 49ers defensive coordinator. Great guy. He was actually sent to actually scout Zach Wilson. And he was told to go ahead and hug Zach Wilson to figure out how big he is. And Fred Warner said he's as big as Patrick Mahomes. But I want to go ahead and say that Zach Wilson, he's a big kid. I think he's smart. I think he's incredibly physically capable. Now, one thing I will say that may deter his career, his medical records show that he had a couple surgeries on his shoulders.
Yeah.
That's not really what you want to hear as a guy who was going to, be drafting a guy who's expected to throw, which you need your shoulders. But Zach Wilson is going to be great. I personally feel like he's very underrated. I think people don't notice how good he is, and I hope the franchise doesn't ruin him because the Jets have a
Don't be me.
I'm just keeping it real. Keeping it real. Look, we're on sizzling hot, okay?
All these
With
takes,
Cinnamon
man.
Town.
All these takes, man. The
You
internet's
gotta
gonna
keep it
drag
real.
me.
Let me tell you something. We are ruthless here, okay? Because look,
No,
we can't
we're kind.
be in the middle of the fence. We're not here for fan service. We're here to keep it real. So I'm here to give you the hot, sizzling hot. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Now this is the other reason. Excuse me. I am stuck on Zach Wilson because
That's fine. That's fine. We
Come
can.
on,
We
man.
can.
Man,
Don't worry.
girly.
Go ahead.
Okay, but I did think that they did reach for Elijah Vera Tucker. He is a guard. He's one of the highest graded guards, I think, in this draft. I think they did reach. Personally, I don't think they should have gave up all the picks that they did to my Minnesota Vikings, but I'm happy. I'm happy.
You
Don't
got
get me wrong.
picks. You
We
got
got
picks?
picks. We got picks for a pick that we personally felt shouldn't have gone at 14 personally. But nonetheless, Elijah Vera Tucker is legit. And I think in this league, catch, just hear me out. Guards are going to be valued more than tackles at a certain point because the defensive tackles are ruining plays. Because let me tell you the truth. As a defensive tackle, you have the shortest amount of yardage towards the quarterback. Guys like Aaron Donald are ruining and wrecking games because they get to the quarterback, right? Let me tell you something. In the near future, we're going to start seeing more guys like Aaron Donald ruining games. Football is only getting faster, more physical. Guys are getting bigger. Let me tell you something. That means that if you're going to protect your quarterback, you're going to have to start from the inside outward. Okay. And so Elijah Vera Tucker, I thought was a solid pick. I think they might have traded too high for him, but it was a solid pick. Not only that, but this is a guy I'm really excited about. And
Tell
this
me.
guy actually that made my list of sneaky good late round picks.
Okay.
Elijah Moore.
Okay.
That's special. He's special.
I don't
Um,
disagree.
to me, if you watch the tape, he is Odell Beckham esque. This guy is a route runner. And let me tell you something. It's hard for wide receivers to develop in the NFL. I don't want to go ahead and be a homer, but I think it's really special that Justin Jefferson is who he is. And I think personally he should have won Rookie of the Year because it's hard for a rookie to get into the NFL and be great. Because cornerbacks are faster, their route recognitions are better, and so for a wide receiver to get into the league and do his thing, it's hard. But I think if you want to get a wide receiver to be successful early in his career, he has to be a great route runner.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something: this guy Elijah Moore, he will get open. And I was hoping guys like the Chiefs or something, or a team that's more stacked would pick him up because he'll be facing third cornerback on coverage or the fourth cornerback. And let me tell you something. This guy right now as a rookie, he could beat 80 to 95% of the third quarterback cornerbacks in the league. I think he's special. I think personally you're gonna hear more about him. And I think Zach Wilson got himself already a legitimate weapon. So the Jets went to the draft. They drafted like their jobs depended
Like
on it.
they're, yes, they did. Because they did. They
Exactly.
did.
And let me tell you something. I believe they came out of it a better team. And I honestly, if I was a gambling man, which I'm not, I would gamble on the Jets to be a better team next year. They might go nine, what, seven? What, now we have 18 games. So it's like,
17 games.
yeah, so they
Yeah.
could go 7-10. But let me tell you something, it's going to be the most hopeful 7-10 you're going to ever see. Now, the
Okay.
last and final, should I say, winning the draft team is my Cleveland Browns. I love the Browns because guess what? Deep down inside, we all love the underdog, right? And I
Yes.
think the Cleveland Browns are the ultimate story of the underdogs. Everybody knows it at the bottom of the league, you know, but I think they really made some great picks this year. Not only picking up Greg Newsome, which is a wonderful cornerback, the second, Greg Newsome the second, but they also picked up Jeremiah Koromoa, Owusu Koromoa, who is a underrated linebacker, which I personally believe was the best linebacker in this draft. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there.
It was
He was the
drafted
best
kind of low.
Yes, he was. And I don't know why. I think he had some health conditions that a lot of teams were really concerned about.
Yeah.
But he is physical. He recognizes things. Now, mind you, he's new to the position, so I do understand that a lot of teams probably were suspicious of his success. But nonetheless, he's one of the better linebackers in this draft. And for him to get picked up in the second round, he's gonna wreck the league. I won't be surprised if what next year, towards the end of the season, we are actually looking at him as a defensive rookie of the year. He's that good, guys. He's legit. And I hope he gets the coaching he deserves because I think he has the potential to really be something special. So those are my three teams: the Chicago Bears, the New York Jets, and the Cleveland Browns. They won the draft in my eyes.
All right, so let's transition and circle back to something that I brought up earlier. Let's talk about a team that I think is personally stacked and is the Arizona Cardinals. I personally believe that they're stacked and they're primed to go deep this season and quite possibly make a Super Bowl appearance. I know that everybody's like, you sound really stupid right now. Have you seen how Kyler Murray has played in the past few seasons? No, I need you to understand. Cliff Kingsbury has built a defensive line that has veteran players, and they have drafted Zaven Collins and Isaiah Simmons, and they have Rondale Moore, which I know people are like, ugh, but I believe in him too. I think he's a completely underrated pick, and he was chosen way too late in the draft for my comfort. So, Godwin, I have two questions. I'm going to ask them to you just straight away. I want you to really just take what I'm going to give you and chew on it. Give me your assessment of the teams that they have now, and what they need to be unstoppable. That's my first question. And the second question is, do you think that they're lopsided in any way, or is there maybe they are a well-rounded team? Do you think they're lopsided or well-rounded?
Um, First off, I want to say that, in all honesty, I think we should all be concerned. The reason why is because we have to, we don't know exactly what Kingsbury is doing, but it looks good. It looks really, really good. I mean, you have guys like DeAndre Hopkins, who is a bona fide, like,
Wide
elite
receiver.
top three
Yes.
receiver. AJ Green, who personally I feel like with a more consistent quarterback could be any team's number one wide receiver, right? And not only that, but we have veterans on that team like Christian Kirk, who's a game changer in my eyes. And then you add on top of that amazing wide receiver core, Rondale Moore. I mean, this guy is what they call a game breaker, right? And then to top it off, on the other side of the field, you guys picked up J.J. Watt, and not only that, but Chandler Jones, who is, I mean, this guy is a sack machine. Isaiah Simmons, he's an athletic freak. I mean, this kid is just, he's special. And then to top it off, you pick up Zaven Collins, who I think is an incredibly underrated draft pick. Um, I think this kid is going to be really special, personally. If you watch tape on him, he could be the quarterback of this defense. He's special, and I think he has leadership traits that even veterans can follow. So that's a lot coming from a rookie. Um, Let me tell you what. Hot take: the Cardinals are the scariest team in the NFC. You don't know what you're gonna expect from them. Cliff Kingsbury, he is that one guy. I don't know. As a coach, you can't read him. We don't know what he's doing. And I think, honestly, if I'm to speak honestly, I can't say I know exactly what the Cardinals are doing, but I am watching. I am willing to actually pay to watch their games because I really want to see how he's going to make all these players come together to make a Super Bowl effort like you think that they're going to make. Honestly, the Cardinals turn out to be the disappointment most are expecting them to be.
Yeah.
It would be a real disappointment because I mean the it's like the stars are aligning and it's just spelling out Cardinals, and yeah, that's all I can really say about it.
Okay. All right. I'm glad somebody agrees with me. If you disagree with me, sound off in the comments down below and let's fight. But for right now, we're just gonna continue on. Godwin, thank you for humoring me on my weird sizzling hot take. If you made it this far in the video, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos the first and third Wednesday of every single month. We are trying to transition to podcasts, so if you happen to be listening to this on a podcasting platform, hello and welcome to Sizzling Hot. We will be having shows every first and third Wednesday of the month. Now, let's talk schedules. Who do you think has the most challenging schedule this season? And what obstacles do you think they will need to hurdle to be successful?
Personally, I feel like, let me put it this way. I didn't do all the math on this, but I guess maybe the viewers can do their own math on this. Maybe this can help them a little bit on this segment of the show because this is the hardest part of it. Because the NFL changes every year. Every year it changes. As a matter of fact, a lot of the lists out there that you probably see on strengths of schedules are based on how well the teams they will be facing did last year. That means how much they won or how much they lost. And the weakest schedule is based on the teams they'll be facing who lost the most last year. And the strongest teams they'll be facing is how much they won last year. And let me tell you something, the turnover rate in the NFL is amazing, especially with how it is right now, especially it being a passing league. Anything can change. But I will say this is a formula that I personally have come to believe that works when it comes to the worst and the best schedules. You don't want your team traveling more than it should.
Okay.
You don't. Flights, jet lag, all of that really hold teams back from being their best on any given Sunday. So I personally feel like the worst or the hardest schedules always have to do basically on how much they will be traveling. So certain teams, like I know for I've been keeping a keen eye on my Minnesota Vikings, and for certain parts of our schedules, we'll be having to fly coast to coast on back-to-back away games, and it doesn't matter who you're playing. If you're playing tired, you will get beat. This is the NFL. This is the NFL. And the best thing about the NFL, and this is why I love the NFL, and maybe some viewers out there may love the NFL, it's any given Sunday. It depends what you bring to the table. It doesn't matter how well you did last year. It doesn't matter how well you did this season. If you're in the playoffs, okay, and you come unprepared, you come beat up, injured, or tired, you will get beat. It doesn't matter if you went 13-3, 12-4, you know, 15-1, you will lose. And so I believe that if any coach is vying for a easier schedule, hopefully they'll get a schedule that is one that they'll have to travel the least amount of times more than they should.
Okay.
So I'll just go ahead and just put that out there. I don't want to make any sizzling hot takes. I think I've made a lot today on this segment, but that is my equation. And I think,
So you don't have a pick?
I do not have a pick. I don't,
Okay.
because the NFL is such a turnover rate. So I'll go ahead and do the opposite of what I've been doing, and I'll play it safe on this side.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine too. Sometimes you got to bring the heat and then you kind of have to simmer it down a little bit. That's totally fine. Okay. So before we close up, of course, I'm going to ask you because I don't know when I'm going to have you again. What two teams are you picking for next year's Super Bowl? Just bird's eye view. Bird's eye view.
That's actually a really tough question. I didn't think about that.
Me. I pick really tough questions. This is sizzling hot. We turn up the heat.
Can I pick 4 teams?
Okay, be
2 from the
quick.
NFC and 2 from the AFC. Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and say the Chargers. I think they have a really good team. They have a young quarterback. They could really do some crazy things. And the Bills.
I agree with that. I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it.
The Bills are scary.
Yeah.
They want a championship, and they will get their shot. NFC side, I want to say the 49ers. I feel like they're Thanos and they just found their final infinity gem.
Oh man.
They really did. Trey Lance is the deal, and he will start this year. And the second pick that I want to choose, this may surprise you.
If you say the Patriots, I'm gonna fight you.
I personally feel the Bucks are gonna have another chance.
Oh, okay.
Tom Brady is a bad, bad mama Johnny.
Back to back appearances.
He's a bad dude, man. And I never bet against Tom Brady. So those are my four
Don't
picks.
be like Jay Fia. Jay Fia bet against Tom Brady.
And
he has a red beard now.
He has a
He has a red beard now because he lost.
Saw that post. He's now a black leprechaun.
He has a red beard now because he bet against Tom Brady. He didn't listen to me and he bet against Tom Brady. You don't bet against Tom Brady. But you also don't bet against Bill Belichick. And Mac Jones, to me, is the next Tom Brady.
I don't know, but okay.
My Bible salesman is the next Tom Brady. Let me have this.
Goodness. Mac Jones is our favorite Mormon. That's what he is. And yeah, I don't know about Mac Jones. Honestly, I think
he's right for molding.
Yeah, someday he's gonna be on a 30 for 30, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing yet. But yeah, I just know he's gonna be on a 30 for 30. I know how. I don't know how, but he will.
Okay, well,
Michelle. This was too fun.
I know, this was so fun. I'm upset because the show can't be longer because people have just the attention span of goldfish. But, I'm just glad to have had you today, and thank you for, encouraging me to actually make teriyaki chicken. I don't think I would have ever been like, oh, let me just pick up this skill. Just make sauce. Let me just make sauce. And the sauce came out wonderful. So I'm really thankful for your inspiration, for your insight. Thank you for humoring me on some of my probably not great takes. I believe in the Cardinals, guys. If you watch the first episode of Sizzling Hot, I called that the Phoenix Suns would be doing wonderful, and guess what? The Phoenix Suns are doing wonderful right now. So you should probably listen to me from time to time. I may not give you statistics, but I will give you vibes, and I'm going to just let you know that the Phoenix Suns are doing great and the Cardinals are next. So thank you, Godwin, for joining Sizzling Hot. It was good to have you.
I'm honored. Thank you so much for having me. I'm a fan. And guys, this is legit. Sarah Michelle is legit. Listen to this stuff. Subscribe. Share this stuff. It's legit. It's legit. A lot of guys get paid. And they don't know what they're saying. Sarah Michelle does. So
thank you so much, Godwin, for your support and your time. And to you, my watchers, this is Sizzling Hot with Sarah Michelle. My name is Sarah Michelle, and I will see you next time. Bye.